Because a lot of times, if you're just pulling in the reins, your bum is flying out of the saddle. So see how here, like I'm pulling, and my horse is so strong and my arms are hurting. Hello? Today's video is about how to get your horse lighter in the contact. I feel like contact and connection is one of the most difficult parts of training a dressage horse and figuring out, how to get your horse really engaged and carrying themselves and soft and supple and what's too much contact, what's too little contact. So if you have a horse that's strong and that tends to pull on you a little bit, then I'm going to give you some tips in this video to help you out. I wanted to also talk about a quote from Christine Traurig where she said that the lightness of the contact is directly related to the engagement of the hind end and the balance of your horse. And I really want you to think about that as we're talking about this, because what you feel in your hand is a reflection of what's happening in your horse's body. So when your horse is engaged and straight and in balance, they're going to be lighter. And the hard part is that you get your horse lighter, not by pulling. It takes two to pull. And so if you're up here and you're like, oh my gosh, my horse is strong and I'm just going to pull and wait for my horse to give, that doesn't work. So in today's video, I'm going to show you some different ways to get your horse lighter in the contact, ways that actually work. So the first thing that you want to think about, I'm going to go up to the canter because the canter is where Mercurio gets a little bit strong sometimes. So if I'm going along here and I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm just pulling and my horse is so strong and my arms are hurting, the first thing you want to check is your position. Because a lot of times if you're just pulling in the reins, your bum is flying out of the saddle. So see how here, I'm pulling and my arms are getting tired and he's getting faster and my bum is flying out of the saddle. So if you want to make the contact lighter, make your seat and your legs stronger. So rather than putting more pressure in your reins, really sit in, sit super heavy, wrap your legs around your horse. So you're not gripping, but you're just really wrapping your legs around the horse. You're pushing your seat into the saddle like you weigh 200 pounds, like you're a big guy sitting back on your horse's hind end, and then soften your hand. So heavy seat, soft hands. Sit in, soft hands. Sit in, soft hands. And this does two things. It helps to balance your horse more on your seat and on the hind leg. And it helps to get you in better balance, so then you can have an independent rein. And what you always want to be able to do is you want to be able to do a little uber strike in and test that your horse is in self-carriage. Good boy. Okay, so tip number one, seat heavier, sit back and sit in, hands lighter. Tip number two is get your horse from inside leg to outside rein. So if your horse is strong and wants to pull, your outside hand is going to be steady. You're going to push your horse off your inside leg. So I'm going to close my right leg and move him outward. You see how he's kind of drifting a little outward now? And then I keep my outside rein steady, but I give the inside rein. So tip number two is inside leg to outside rein connection. You can either just do it on a circle line where you're leg yielding your horse off the inside leg. On the circle line, you could go up the quarter line and ride a leg yield. I'm going to change direction and make sure I can do it the other way. But the reason that inside leg gets your horse lighter in the contact is think back to Christine Traurig's quote about the hind leg. So when I'm pushing him off my inside leg, I can show you it in a turn on the forehand as well. When I push him off my inside leg, that inside hip has to lower and step under like that. Good boy. So by getting your horse connected inside leg to outside rein, you're engaging the inside hind leg. And by engaging the inside hind leg, you're getting your horse more elevated in the forehand and more uphill so that you can give on that inside rein. Good boy, Mercurio. Good boy. Good boy. So that's the second key to getting your horse softer in the contact. And then the third is transitions. So the reason that transitions, I'm going to do trot, canter, trot because he needs work on those. But the reason that transitions will improve your contact when done correctly is because transitions get the hind end more engaged. So you can do transitions within the gait where you go a little forward and more back. You can do transitions trot, canter, trot, or walk, trot, walk. I'm doing trot, canter, trot here. It's always best to start your transitions on a circle line, because on a circle line, you have your horse going inside leg to outside rein on the circle line. So the bend helps to keep your horse engaged. Good boy. Good boy. And give. But really, you know, getting your horse lighter in the contact is tricky because pulling is not going to solve your horse being heavy in the contact. And we all do it sometimes. I was teaching a clinic in Colorado last weekend, and I said to the guy, I was like, you know, it takes two to pull. And he said, yeah, you know, that seems so obvious, but sometimes when you're up here and you're like, gosh, why is my horse pulling so much? You're the one with the frontal lobe. And so you have to say, you know what, I'm not going to hold you in front. I'm going to be heavy with my seat. I'm going to push you off my inside leg and into the outside rein. I'm going to give on the inside rein and stay on bending lines and ride transitions and ride circles. Good boy. But it's definitely, it's a test of your position, because to get your horse lighter in the contact, you have to have a better seat. So the better your seat, the better your contact and connection, which makes sense, right? Because if your seat is better, you're going to be able to engage your horse's hind end better. Good boy. And keep your horse in a better balance. So I hope this video has helped you. It's definitely a process. And also subscribe to my channel. I make a new video every Wednesday, and there's a lot of great content coming up that I know is going to help you out with your horse.